Welcome back to Opinionated Sports with Chris. We're back again. I ain't been here all week. I got a little busy, but we're back and we got some stuff to talk about. NBA playoff second rounder underway, and there's some surprises in there. Things I didn't really expect to see. We got the Yankees still hot, still on fire, starting a series with the Cleveland Indians today in about 10 minutes. I'm going to go turn that on after I get done here. And we got the Knicks hired David Fizdale. So we're going to briefly touch on the first two things, and then I'm going to get into this for Knicks fans. Let's talk about, is David Fizdale the answer? What happens going forward? What's going to happen with Porzingis? And what's our legitimate timeline to be a contender? So as always, guys, go check me out on the Sports Me app. Whoop, peekaboo, right here. Download it on your iPhone, iPad, coming soon to Android. Go hit me up on there. I'm on there every day debating live. Tell you all about my opinions on topics all over that app. But don't get your feelings hurt because I'm out there dropping truths. You can check me out at Chris and Chris Dorm Room Sports. That's on World of Sports Network. That'll have a link to all of the Chris and Chris Dorm Room Sports. Or you can find it on iTunes, Google Play Music, the Anchor app, all over the place. As always, Opinionated Sports is on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play Music, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Woo! That's a lot of stuff I got going on, guys. I'm still in the works trying to get my new show, I'm Right, to happen. Busy schedules. Things aren't quite going the way I planned. But I am going to have a debate show with my wife coming up where we're going to debate sports as only we know how. That's going to be coming down the pipe. Plan on hearing something from that hopefully very, very soon. But let's get right into this, guys. We got the NBA playoffs in the second round happening, and there is some insane activity going on. LeBron James is superhuman. Now, I said the entire first round when they played the Indiana Pacers. Anybody that listened to me will know. I said that's a bad matchup for them. They just didn't match up well against that team and the way that they play basketball. They match up better against the Toronto Raptors. Happy Father's Day to LeBron James from the entire Toronto Raptors basketball team because he's just out there spanking them. They don't have an answer. They got no answer for LeBron James, and in turn have no answer for anybody else. Role players are stepping up. Kevin Love had 31 and 11 last game, I believe. It's just, he's really dominating all facets of the game right now. I expected this series to go 6, I believe. If you check out my YouTube video with the Waterboy Report on the Waterboy Report on YouTube, I think I called for Cleveland in 6. This might be a sweep. 2-0 going back to Cleveland with those fans and the way LeBron is playing. I'll tell you though, LeBron needs a sweep. He needs that break before the next round. He's working himself. And in his 15th year, to be able to do what he's doing is nothing short of legendary. So that's kind of a surprise. I did expect Cleveland to win, but not in the fashion they are right now. I also called for the Boston Celtics to win. I think I called for that series in 7. There's no way it goes 7. That series, if the 76ers are lucky, it goes 6. Lucky to go 6. I think they may get one in Boston. So 3-1 going back to Philly. I don't know. I don't see how it can go 7 games. So Boston's definitely going to win that series. Brad Stevens is the most important player / coach / executive / owner of any basketball team in the NBA, and that includes LeBron James. Brad Stevens is more important to the Boston Celtics than LeBron James is to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Because injuries have made no difference to this Boston Celtics team. None. Gordon Hayward goes down game 1. We'll move on. Kyrie Irving out for the season, not going to play at all in the playoffs. We'll figure it out. Marcus Smart's out for the beginning of the series against the Bucks. We'll make do. No worries. Jaylen Brown misses game 1 against the 76ers. We're good. Guys, don't even worry about it. Next man up. Next man up. And Brad Stevens has whoever the next man up is believing that they're Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. They're stepping on the floor with the belief that they're the next best thing. This Boston Celtics team, when they come back next year, is going to be borderline unstoppable. Danny Ainge has done just a remarkable job with that team. If you go all the way back to the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade, where they just did really bad things to the Brooklyn Nets in that trade and are still reaping the rewards, so much so that other teams in the league are reaping the rewards. The Cleveland Cavaliers have Brooklyn's pick next year. The Cleveland Cavaliers, that pick has gone from Brooklyn to Boston, who then used it to get themselves Kyrie Irving. I'm sorry, Brooklyn. I don't know when your time's going to be. You might have a decade left before you're even anything competitive in the NBA. Although I do like Spencer Dinwiddie. Spencer Dinwiddie. I just like saying it. All right. So the other side of the bracket, let's talk about the Western Conference Finals. Game 1 of Golden State New Orleans was not competitive for the most part. Based on a 24-2 run that Golden State had early in the second quarter, and really the game was out of reach for New Orleans after that. Game 2 was a lot more competitive. They're back in New Orleans tonight. I expect the Pelicans win, and depending on how the game goes, you maybe could see 2 Pelicans wins at home. I'm not counting this Pelicans team out. I don't care that Steph Curry's back, because while he gives you an offensive boost, that's really not what Golden State needed. He gives you a defensive liability, and that could be a problem going forward for them. I still think they win the series, but you could see New Orleans make it competitive in the next 2 games. The Utah Jazz, though, guys. Man, just the unbelievable job over there by that entire coaching staff and front office who, when Gordon Hayward left, you thought this team's in the dumps for a couple of years to come at least. Pardon me, I had to take a drink. I was thirsty. So this team's done for a couple of years, right? In comes Ricky Rubio. In comes Donovan Mitchell. Trade away Rodney Hood at the deadline for Jay Crowder, who's contributing. Joe Ingles. This team is playing well as a team. They're scoring at a decent rate, and they're playing great team help defense. I love where they're at. They're at home tonight against Houston. And guess who's back? Back. The James Harden and Chris Paul that we all know and love. Playoff Harden's back. I can't win a game, but I'll put up major stat lines. James Harden is back. Chris Paul is back. These guys who are superstars in the NBA but don't know how to get it done in the playoffs, they're back. I don't know that Utah is going to win tonight, but I expect them to take a game at home. Could be 3-2 going back to Houston. I'm sorry, 2-2 going back to Houston. Anything can happen. This Utah Jazz team is dangerous. Yankees are still red hot. We're going to go on to the Yankees now. The Yankees are still red hot. Took 3 of 4 from Houston in a comeback win yesterday. On the downward half of 18 in a row. 9-1 in their last 10 games. I believe they are 14-15. Or 14-1 in their last 15 games. Swinging the bat well. Giancarlo Stanton seeing the ball a whole lot better. I'm watching him take walks. This Yankees team is right now where we expected them to be after a slow start. And I expect more of the same going forward. It's a long series or long season, and I'm not going to get too much into it because things can change in a heartbeat in baseball. You can go on a losing streak in no time. To stick with baseball for just a minute, I do expect the Washington Nationals at some point to show some signs of life. I don't know when that's going to be. I believe right now they're right at 500. And they have a game tonight against the Phillies. Hopefully, for them, that can kick off some sort of winning streak. I have the Nationals in the World Series in the National League, and I'm not willing to give up on that pick at this moment. But man, they're not playing like a World Series caliber team right now. So that's all for baseball. Really was only going to briefly touch on the Yankees because I'm a homer, and as well as they're playing, I can't skip it. So we're going to shoot back to the NBA, guys, and this is going out to all of my die-hard, been through the worst of the worst, still buying tickets and watching it on TV, Knicks fans. Guys, we've been through it. Man, we've been put through the ringer by this Knicks team. Dolan has really put the screws to us, and we're trying to come back. But we hired David Fizdale, and I was a guy who wanted Mark Jackson. But I'm not mad at the Fizdale hiring. I'm not mad at all. The more I look into it, I think this might have been the right hire. Mark Jackson would have been great. He has the ability for player development, especially at the guard position, where we have youth, and more youth with Ntilikina, Moutier, Trey Burke. We need player development there. But Fizdale's got great player-coach relationships across the league. And if we're going to build New York back up to be a free agent destination, which appears to be the major path to winning in the NBA, it's difficult to really be successful and win with any sort of consistency as far as championships go without free agency. Without Kevin Durant going to Golden State last year, I don't know that they would have won the championship. And that dynasty may have been over before it really got started. It may have been a 2-year hit, which is great for the NBA as far as I'm concerned. But if you're a team owner or a coach, you're looking to build dynasties. And the only way to do that now seems to be through free agency. You can draft and develop all the talent that you want. When you look at the Boston Celtics right now, with Marcus Smart, with Jaylen Brown, with Jason Tatum, with Terry Rozier, that's young talent that they have in there. But then they went and got Gordon Hayward, Kyrie Irving. Yes, Kyrie came in a trade, but irrelevant. Like, they're building talent from within, supplementing it with superstars from without. So in order for New York to be back on the map as a perennial contender, we need to be a free agent destination. Kristaps Porzingis is the face of that franchise, and as long as they keep him and offer him an extension even during the injury, he will help generate free agents. Tim Hardaway is a capable scorer and a willing defender. Frank Ntilikina, I know this is an advanced metric, and I'm not really big on advanced metrics and advanced statistics, but Frank Ntilikina was number 1 in the NBA last year in pick and roll defense. He allowed the least points per possession in the NBA on pick and roll defense. He is the defensive juggernaut we thought he was, drafting him out of France. And as much as I disliked Phil Jackson very much in his role in New York, I do like that he landed us Kristaps Porzingis, Frank Ntilikina, who's going to be a really, really good player, if not great in this league. This past year, we traded for Moutier, which I didn't like because I was a Doug McDermott fan. He had turned into a very good scorer and a very good defender. He always was a capable scorer. He turned into a very good defender and a bench scorer at times when you needed him. So I wasn't a fan of trading away Doug McDermott and bringing in Emmanuel Moutier. But Moutier's talented too. You're talking about this guy was a lottery pick. Ntilikina was a lottery pick. Trey Burke, this guy won National Player of the Year in college. National Championship, if I'm not mistaken. I think he won that game. I don't think he lost. National Championship, National Player of the Year. Porzingis, lottery pick. Enes Kanter, lottery pick. They've built together a team of talent. Now they need a coach, Fizdale, to get it together because Jeff Hornacek was just horrendous. Bad defensive coach, which is really what he was brought in to be. Bad defensive coach. Wanted to push the ball up tempo on offense, but apparently didn't coach it well because the only person who really pushed the ball in transitions, Tim Hardaway, Moutier a little bit the second half of the year, and then Trey Burke after they called him up. So we'll see what Fizdale does as far as keeping the team together, team unity. We got to keep Michael Beasley. He's a great bench scorer. You know, he's great, I think, is even an understatement. This guy can score on anybody at any time. And to have him being able to come off the bench as a scoring leader at that point is a great thing. So we need to keep Beasley. You keep Cantor. You keep Porzingis. You keep Ntilikina, Moutier, and Burke and Hardaway. Draft a small forward, depending on where you fall in the draft. No, draft a solid small forward. I'm okay with Kyle O'Quinn leaving. I believe he's a free agent. I'm not 100% sure there. But I'm okay with Kyle O'Quinn possibly not coming back next year. I can't wait to get Joakim Noah's contract off the books. He can be gone. And as much as I respect Lance Thomas for coming up from the D-League, working his way up the ranks, getting some starts last year, being a good defender and a capable scorer, he's not irreplaceable, and I would like to replace him with somebody a little more talented, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm not dead sold on Lance Thomas. So we'll see who the Knicks draft, because we need to, few things that would need to happen. So here's my small list of what needs to happen in New York, and then I'm going to let you guys go for today. So here's what needs to happen in New York. One, we need to develop our guards and make them into the superstars they have potential to be. Two, we need to give Porzingis his $157 million contract extension, lock him in, call that a day. Don't give him any opportunity to negotiate elsewhere. Three, we need to clean up the off-court antics. That includes you, Dolan, so that we can create an aura of where New York is back to where we need to be, and we can bring in some solid free agents. We need to stop with the Charles Oakley incidents. We've just been a magnet for things like that, with whether it's Oakley in the stands, whether it's Derrick Rose not coming to the game. No matter what it is across the board, New York for the last 15 years has just been a hotbed for drama. So we need to eliminate the off-court drama so that we can create a better team quality and bring in some more free agents. That's what we need to do. Those are our 3 steps to success. If we do those and we draft well, I feel like this team can be a legitimate contender in 2 years. Not this year, because Porzingis probably won't even play this year, which means we should have another lottery pick coming up. In 2 years, we should be a playoff team. In 3 years, we should be in the Eastern Conference Finals. That's my prediction. Let's go, David Fizdale. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Hit me up on my text line, 315-355-3699. Tell me about topics you'd like to talk about. I'm going to go watch some Yankees baseball. I'm going to go watch some NBA playoffs. Woo! I can't wait to get it in. This is Chris from Opinionated Sports, where my opinion is fact, and I'm out.